Well, more now of our coverage of the 2016 general election. We're having two interviews a day because a lot more candidates are coming forward. Carl Parker is with me in the studio, standing in Arbory, Castletown and Malew. He is 36 and has a son. He lives in Colby. Parker and Snell Company is an Isle of Man, a UK-based production company. So you're an actor by profession?
Semi-professional.
Semi-professional. Well, most of your credits are the 39 steps. How many steps does the island need to re-establish its fiscal balance?
Well, I think one of the main points for the economy of the Isle of Man is what I put in my manifesto, is that I think we need to form a group of business ambassadors to be at the forefront of driving business to the island in terms of new emerging markets.
Where would they come from?
The economy.
The private sector, or from
well, I was at the Island Expo exhibition down at the Villa Marina, and I had a chance to speak to James Mellon, and I put to him the question, do you think that the Isle of Man would benefit from having a group of business ambassadors? He said absolutely right.
Did he sign up to it?
He sent me an email to say that, get in touch if I'm elected, because he would like to talk more about it.
Well, one of your most publicised concerns is the money proposed to be spent on the promenade. You say paying for nurses and police officers is more important. 30 nurses, 20 police officers, you reckon. Do we need more police officers? Our crime rates are dropping, aren't they?
Well, that's right. But what the main point of what I'm saying in what I've said about the Douglas Promenade is to do with, if you look back at 2014, there were around 23 job losses in the police force. Okay, some retired, but those jobs were.
But the promenade's in a dreadful state, isn't it?
Oh, it is. I'm not saying that we don't need to do work on it. I mean, you have to take what I'm saying in context. I mean, I firmly believe that the Douglas Promenade needs to be resurfaced.
But if we take the 20 million from the promenade and put it into officers and nurses, how does the promenade get built?
No, what I'm saying is, I think it just needs to be resurfaced and repaired. It doesn't need the full Rolls-Royce rejuvenation scheme. That's what I'm putting into context. And if the government is saying there is no money for this, there is no money to spend on that, and public service need cut, etc., how can we justify £20 million to be spent on a Rolls-Royce scheme? So that's what I'm saying in context.
You think we should justify free preschool places for 3 and 4-year-olds?
Yes, I do. Yeah, because I think that actually benefits the economy anyway. If you think about women who have children who want to go out to work, it's part of the government is paying, say, income support and so forth. So I think actually that would strengthen our economy, having women work.
The big question, pensions. You see a number of measures needed, including moving public sector workers to a career average scheme and increase the minimum retirement age to 58.
Yes.
And move to a public-private sector pension scheme as well. So you have measures worked out you feel would work?
Well, the research that I've done, and if you look at Denmark has the best pension scheme in the world, as reported by the International Mercer Report. And I think we need to, as a long-term strategy, look at implementing how Denmark works their public sector pension, which basically would mean in real time is that the government would only pay contributions. The employee would pay contributions, and that's paid into a private fund. So we come out of this legal pyramid system that we have.
So you think that's workable, do you?
Well, it's certainly not workable immediately because we have the liability. So when I've heard sort of other candidates say, let's close the scheme down, I don't think we can actually do that immediately, only because if you close the scheme down and move into a defined contributions pension scheme or money purchase scheme, what then happens to this liability, the $3 billion liability? Because eventually that's going to work down, and who's going to pay for that? So you have to have a transitional period.
Can I just touch on, you want mental health education in schools along with in-depth nutritional education. Why is this important?
Well, excuse me, with mental health education, I think what we are seeing in modern day society is an increase in mental health issues, certainly amongst teenagers and so forth. So I think for teenagers to be able to understand how the mind works more so.
Could you get it through to them at that age, do you think?
I think so, yeah, because I run workshops for 14 to 17-year-olds, and we talk about anxiety, we talk about depression, and I can tell you...
It's a big problem for kids, yeah.
Yeah.
Carl Parker, thank you very much for joining us this morning.